welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brand, as always. I have the ladies. Good morning, ladies.
Excellent morning.
Talk about you here.
I am here.
How are you doing?
I am fine.
Good to have you.
Yes.
Anything happening?
Okay, so I woke up this morning to 3 messages from a friend, and she sent me 3 videos that you must watch these videos. Each of them about 20, and an interview, Oprah did an interview with Lupita Nyong'o, and I realized that even though a black person in Africa still feels like being black is ugly, and it's subconscious. So we need to deliberately project our blackness as beautiful. And I'm so happy that for once, the entire panelists of your view, there's no yellow purple amongst us. And I know for a fact that it's beautiful to have, but it's also beautiful to see black people consistently on TV as being beautiful. It is a fantastic thing.
We also have to acknowledge that the yellow purples amongst us were real yellow purples. They were natural.
Yes,
the ones, your view,
artificial. We didn't have
natural
anybody.
Yellow purples. They were not
So there are different shades and complexions of the
I've
melanin.
never had anybody that bleached on this show, definitely. Nima Akashat Zibri.
She flew in,
Bele.
as usual.
This is where.
So let's talk seriously. Yesterday I was going to talk about waste management and that there was waste at Mautu, that they didn't take it. But this morning, I've lived on that axis for more than 20 years. I schooled in Ojo. I have never seen flood at First Gate. The magnitude of flood I saw this morning definitely is clogged drainages, clogged canal. And I kept saying on the show, can you just decongest the canal so that the water have ways to go? So I sat in traffic, plus bad road now flood, for God knows how much. I got here 10 minutes to 9. I keep saying it on the show, and if not for anything, for history to judge well, whoever is in government, that they didn't do what they needed to do, because I talk about it here. Yeah, I really don't care whose ox is God. As long as you don't do what you have to do and people have to suffer for it, then history will judge you wrongly. We have clogged drainages, we have bad road, we have capitalism destroying the entire Mo-Odofin to Ojo axis, border terminals everywhere. We have trucks destroying roads that were not built for trucks. We have flood washing away booty men. We talk about it. People watch this show, they hear it. Loma is not doing anything. The moment you praise them for intervening, they sit back, they relax, and the rains come. We have scavengers picking bottles, everything. We talk about it, but government, of course, they are relaxed. What's wrong with that woman always talking about it? It's costing us productive time.
Because we need to put the searchlight on that, but unfortunately, it's not our topic. So we might actually make it a topic. I mean, are you guys going through what she's going through in your area?
Yes, so we might invite our people from satellite, and they've helped me to eat that.
Fantastic.
Your producer said, your guy said that will come on the show.
You let me know the day, any Wednesday, we'll let them know. If you want them to come next week Wednesday, we'll just tell our audience that we're having them. Let me know. So how many are coming so we can give them leave their spaces for them so they can express themselves. How are you doing, madam?
I'm amazing, That's why I wake up every day by 4 a.m. and leave the house by 5. Because if traffic holds me in that Fagba road or Agege, I'm done for. I remember, I think about 2 weeks ago where I had to take bike to work. It's really, the roads are really bad, and it's unfair.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Every nook and cranny of Lagos. As in, there's no road that is working in Lagos as we speak.
Even inside the
it's that bad.
If I go to SSF, the road is bad. So I'm thinking, okay, before we start blaming government, inside your individual estates, have we fixed our roads?
Are you doing something about it?
The internal structure, they are fixing. I just think that this rain just exposed the inefficiencies that has been long-term. It's not just this administration, and we mustn't just make it look like, oh, it is
they
this
didn't
current
do the work.
Anyway, let me come to our audience. Hello, people. How you guys doing? Say hello. I'm greeting you now. So, as much as I know that Nima has been complaining about this every single time, but it's one that will make it a topic. So we'll try to bring in your community members to come in next week and focus on this issue of drainages, flooding, bad roads, and the fact that we need Loma to take action in these areas. But we also have to appreciate one member of our audience, Adeyinka Komolafe, for her book. She gave us a book. Everybody got one. I think you guys got one last week. Thank you so much. It's The Gold Under You. Lovely book. I've not read it, but I heard it was really nice. So everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. And also, with thanks to Yemi Legend, as always, sending us small chops today, cream slices for the beautiful cake, and we think we have drinks, beverages by TBA Services for the bigger drinks they send to us every last Wednesday. Thank you so much. And we also have Bonvita. Thank you so much in the building. They gave us our beverage this morning. Thank you so much to Bonvita. Okay, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. 2 million jobs coming as CBN plans 100 billion naira textile funding. Customs seizes 54 containers of expired rice and tramadol. Governors seek variation of loan repayment plans. Court summons Speaker, others over Ambode's probe. Doctors decry exclusion from wage negotiations. Federal government to regulate social media. And eaglets for you on the 17 World Cup round of 16.
So I'm taking a major headline.
Okay, please, go ahead.
The CBN governor is sharing good news. 2 industries are about to get major funding.
Wow.
The cotton, textile, and garment industry is about to get $100 billion. This specific money is going to go 100 billion naira.
Yes.
This specific money is going to go into injecting funds to increase production and produce 2 million jobs projected so far. Another industry, the ginning industry, has gotten 50 billion. So this specific funding is to help Nigeria sustain. Let me just quote it right. The government said that they have intention to ensure this business remains within local players. So we're excited about this. If you are into cotton right from manufacturing all the way into finished products, that's why they said.
So the entire process.
Yes, the entire process is going to be covered by this fund. So if you are in the business, start looking for the opportunities right now to enter into it and access the fund, because whenever they declare it like this, they have a duty to share the money. And
they're injecting these funds to also help to restart those moribund equipment of the textile industry. So they're going to help you to start working. So when it starts working, we can now start employing more people. So there are opportunities. We're trying to grow our economy and diversify the economy. So this is a really good one. We're happy about that.
Doctors?
Go ahead, please.
Yes, so the national president of the Nigerian Medical Association visited the Minister of Labour, saying that they were not included in the just concluded minimum wage negotiations, and so the minister had to tell them that one of the reasons they were not included was the fact that they didn't see them as trade unions, and also they need to come together as a body so that they can be included. But then they are also, they complained about there was a special allowances that they were supposed to be paid, which is supposed to be renewed every 3 years. But the minister is telling them that is under the consequential adjustments, so they should relax, nothing to worry about.
There was sorry I was going to skip, but the issue of the customs season 54 contained, it's somewhere else, but there was something I wanted to take about that, but let's move on. The Punch. Positive identification. Stop army operations. Reps NBA, CDHR tell Buhari. Picture here again of the seized container. 18 die as yellow fever hits Katsina community. Poly lecturer arraigned for alleged job scam. South Africa returnee jail 38 years for drug trafficking. FG extends trader money beneficiaries to 5 million. Ambode heads to court to stop assembly probe, and governors oppose bailouts 162 million naira monthly repayment plan, says federal government. Okay.
The major story?
Major headline?
Yes. So I think about 2 months ago, the army said that they are going to be having this Operation Positive Identification. That means that the army will flood the streets, the towns, and check people. When they meet you, they stop you, you show them your ID card to show that you are not a bandit, yes. But they decided this, it wanted to start in the north, but they decided to move it down to the southwest. That was the contention. But then lawmakers are saying that this is anti-people. This is not what you do, because it will also, it will deny people of their human rights. We don't want to see armies all over the streets stopping people. At the end of the day, the people you are trying to protect will be victimized. And some lawmakers are calling out the army, saying that if you don't have any ideas, why don't you just resign from that position and let's put people in there who are going to...
We have foreigners.
We didn't hear you.
It's not entirely a bad idea. We have foreigners, of course, fostering banditry and all the other crimes in the up north. We need a solution. But then, that line of abuse is what we cannot gather.
And
the army has
responded last week
that
we don't have enough army officials. We don't have enough personnel for the army to fight the insurgency on ground.
Yes.
You now want to bring them to start section.
Also, in the same article at some place, they said that the army said it was fake alerts, it's fake news for the idea that they're going to be sending army on the roads to start checking people's identification. That's fake news. So now depends on who you want to believe. Okay, let's pick the Ambode story, please. Who has that story?
Okay, so Governor Ambode has been undergoing...
Ex-Governor
Ambode, has been undergoing investigations for the 820 buses he allegedly acquired without... permission, proper, but he said that...
Sorry, approvals.
Budgetary approval, that there was budgetary approval for these buses. He said that it was in the 2018 appropriation law as a capital expenditure under the heading Lag Bus Public Transport Infrastructure and parts financing of 820 buses, so that there was approval. So I'm worried.
He said there was approval, but he's also saying that there was a section 8 and 9, which is asking for additional approval.
That. Yes.
And that's where he felt was unconstitutional.
Yes.
And also said that the people that are also accusing him are the ones at the panel judging him. So he felt that it was constitutional for them to also...
They've gone to court to get an injunction stopping the House from continuing the probe.
And if someone...
the House have summoned the Speaker of the... the court have summoned the Speaker of the House to appear.
And Honorable Isha, who was really championing this...
which is right. The House of Assembly has a right to investigate what they feel is misappropriated funds. Right. Can the courts now go and stop the House of Assembly from investigating?
If it was done wrongly, that's what Ambode is. That's what the former governor is trying to say. That
so the former governor is saying
entire probe was done unconstitutionally, and that he actually got the approval to actually acquire the buses.
I don't think there's an unconstitutional probe. The job of the House is, of course, oversight duties. What I expect is that if you have clearer facts, you appear before the House and lay those facts.
And the courts have asked for clearer facts. So let's wait and see what happens. Let's move on. I wanted to take this story,
the right story.
Go ahead,
the one from Kwarapoli.
Go ahead, please.
So there's a lecturer, Abdulwasiu Mustafa, who EFCC has arranged for job scam. Over the period of 2018, several ways scam people for money, claiming to be able to help them get jobs within the Federal Polytechnic OFA in Kwara State. That's basically
I wanted to take the story on these containers that we see.
Can you go ahead?
The reason why 54 containers. The reason why I wanted to take is because they found master rice. It's something my mother-in-law is always demanding, that the only rice I should buy is master rice. So and I hope she's watching. Master rice, they found it, the last expired master rice. Last package 2016. 2016. So it expired. Coming to the market.
Mario, Nima has always said this thing here that from Thailand, most of the imported rice we have here have been expired. They are expired, so they rebag, rewash, and send it to us.
So that there's imported rice, about 33 containers of those rice were expired, and 54 total impounded, 33 were just rice. Some brought in fish. Spoiled fish, frozen and hidden under spare parts that shouldn't have come in. You know, this is not done by foreigners. These are Nigerians circumventing the law to bring in goods that would harm people.
For greed.
For greed.
Moving on.
We don't get to it.
Moving on to Vanguard. Labour threatens shutdown if states break agreement. Picture here, scavenger picking empty plastic bottles. Apapa gridlock, manufacturers lose 20 billion annually to poor infrastructure, says man. Bailout, governors reject federal government's 162 million monthly repayment plan. And another Nigerian, Damilola Ogunbiyi, gets top UN job. Fantastic, congratulations to her. The Economic Recovery Growth Plan at risk, says federal government. And PDP kicks as federal government rolls out measures to check fake news and hate speech. Go ahead,
we know what you're
I don't have plenty of stories, just the Vanguard. So the picture story as well as the story from the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Apapa Zone, that's engineer Frank Onyebo, who mentioned that the Amuodofia and the Kirikiri industrial zones are being destroyed, destroyed presently by lack of infrastructure, and it is also decrying the dilapidated state of these areas, industrial areas. The truth is, we have articulated vehicle that man also, employ to carry goods. And the way they use the infrastructure that was on ground before is something that we should even hold man to account for. But the details of the story is only talking about how it's affecting business and how they lose up to 20 billion annually from, from the lack of proper infrastructure.
Major headline, Labour. So the back and forth is still on. Labour is saying that we have agreed, you are going to use the template which the federal government is giving for the consequential adjustment across states. The Nigerian Governors Forum is saying that we have our own we have our own state executive council, and so the federal executive council cannot tell us how to run our states. We are going to give them, we're going to pay this consequential adjustment according to the revenue that we have. But Labour is saying that you have to open your books, show us your account, let's know how much you are getting in as revenue. Then we can negotiate and decide if you can afford to pay for the minimum wage or not. So that's basically what's here.
Okay, let's see.
They won't show those books.
Moving on to Daily Sun very quickly. Workers declare war on governors. Just mentioned that. Fake news, hate speech violators to pay 5 million naira.
Bagang.
Amechi reads Riot Act to fright hoarders. Purchase of 8, 6, and 20 buses. Court summons Lagos Assembly Speaker over probe of Ambode. Presidency to spend 66.6 billion naira on rent and 45 billion naira to fuel generators. Listen, that article, that article is loaded with all the various expenses.
I saw it, I lost hope.
In fact, I didn't want to read it again. Let's talk about fake news, hate speech.
So the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, is saying that the federal government has concluded plans to regulate social media. They are going to fine perpetrators of hate speech and fake news heavily. It was supposed to be 500,000 naira before, but now it's going to be 5 million. They are coming all out for people who are going to be giving fake news, hate speeches, because this is something that will cause more like confusion in the country. And they are not the only ones who are doing it. Singapore is doing it, UK is doing it. They're just trying to sanitize the social media. So if you know that you are in that space and you are not carrying fake news, you have nothing to be afraid of.
Be sure of the message you are posting. If not, 5 million, your entire family will pay.
You're not contradicting what the VP said last week. Was it this week?
Unfortunately, we also need to define what is hate speech. I can understand fake news. Fake news is fake news. There's no wrong or right. But hate speech is a wide... I can say I don't like the president and they'll say it's hate speech because I'm hating him.
So we need to define what hate speech is.
Exactly.
Okay, let us go on a break. When we come back, we'll be discussing the effect of border closure on our African neighbors, African country neighbors. That's going to be our focus in the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
I like that. I like that. In fact, you guys are owing us a song. For first time, any first timers in the building?
No, regular. Oh, we have one person.
Ghana is supposed to produce a song for us. Please, we need a song. Oh, fantastic. So now we can welcome you nicely. All right, let's go to our topic today. In continuation of our topic on border closure, we'd like our viewers to call in and tell us how it's affecting them, especially those of you that live in Ghana, Republic of Benin, because we have callers and viewers from there. Let's hear how this border closure is affecting you. But you can call us on 070-806-6814. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. I think it was this week or last week that we discussed it, and we focused more on how the positive effects it had on Nigerians, on our manufacturing, on the fact that now we can actually produce widely for our people, especially for rice. But now we're talking about the adverse effects. If you're going through that, let us hear what you're going through, because people are saying they are producing and they're having issues exporting. Others are saying they're bringing raw materials from abroad and they can't even produce it and bring them inside the country. So those adverse effects are what we want to hear this morning. But let me come to you. I don't know who was on the show here, but let me come to you.
Vietnam, the social Socialist Republic of Vietnam yesterday begged APC and the Nigerian government to allow its country bring in rice into Nigeria officially.
For what?
That they should give them waiver. They would ensure the rice is fresh. They said we would also ensure that we would bring it in a discount. It would be discounted. They sent a delegation to the vice president because they realized that it has been abused. Nigeria's message has gone out since the 8th of August when the border closed down. Everybody who's been taking advantage of the fact that they could get goods into Nigeria and our porous borders are now stuck. And so they have to find a way to either do it legit or lose money. So Vietnam has taken up that responsibility of, okay, we know that they've been trying to import rice illegally into Nigeria. We know the price is really expensive. Don't worry, we will crash the rice. That's what they are. They sent emissaries to Nigeria to tell us they would crash the price for us and ensure that the rice comes in legitimately, not through Benin and other borders. But that means that this move
is working.
It's definitely having an impact on them.
Yeah, but do we still want to import rice? Okay. I thought the idea was to increase our
exactly
our own production capacity within the country.
I think this is where the government has to, sit tight. And even if tomorrow the borders will eventually be opened after everything is sorted, we'll really read through every agreement you have with each country, know what's in it for you and what's in it for the other country. I want to tell you to please pass the message to them that we don't want their rice. I am enjoying the Nigerian rice that we have so far, the Mama's Pride, Lion rice. I'm eating all of them, Lake rice, and I'm enjoying it. But when it comes to the other countries, let's take, for instance, Ghana. They complained that Dangote Cement took over their own market, that they are struggling seriously to sell their own cement in Ghana. And now that they've been trying to push Dangote out of Ghana, but that one, he's everywhere, He's not moving, he's not shifting. And so for Nigeria to close their borders, that means Nigeria is not even paying attention to what they are supposed to benefit as well, that we should leave our borders open. This is something that over time we've seen the negative effects of us leaving our borders porous, but it's not just about our borders. Our custom officials as well need to sit up and do their jobs.
And open.
And open, yes.
It is not the responsibility of Nigeria. You can't blame the foreign countries for your porous borders. We have signed, and Nima can clarify this, we have an agreement, ECOWAS agreement, creates open borders between countries within West Africa. Nana Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana, had to make a statement yesterday saying that because of this border closure, it is putting a stop to what the West African free trade zone was trying to achieve, that the country is already moving towards having one currency, integrating our economy more. But Nigeria's decision to isolate itself by closing its borders is now threatening the entire economic advantage that the entire West Africa can have.
Now, so wait, what is the realization that coming to me now? Like, Nigeria really is the market.
Yes. We're the biggest.
We are the market. 220 million people. Also, all the West are combined.
We are the market.
It's not happening. So I'm selfish when it suits them. We are the big brother. When it doesn't suit them, we are the weak ants. Because I hear other African countries describe us, even South Africa, in the most detrimental, degrading terms. But now we know the truth is, without us, you really can't survive. This is where the market is. They're all heading this way. And the one that is killing us the most is that they give us whatever standard because we do not have proper regulation. I am sure, I'm certain of it. We have bought ram in Benin before. They have an agric board that certifies ram edible for their people to eat.
Wow.
I am certain of that one. But in Nigeria, any ram, weak leg, brick leg, everybody can sell. Because it's a free market. It's everybody's survival kind of mentality. So whatever, if you cannot make it anywhere, you can make it and just push it here. We can't continue to be the dump site. I was having a conversation last night and I was saying to the person that you are thinking of going abroad and importing anything here. This place cannot continue to be dustbin for every stupid thing around the world.
Exactly.
We must start to look at the process and produce.
Let me take a call. Alhaji Sulaiman, good morning. Thanks for calling. You're listening to the TV. Hello, Alhaji, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Morayo.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Morayo, I'm very interested in this program, so I do not miss it every morning.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yesterday, I didn't see you. I don't know what happened.
Yes, I had to.
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Go ahead,
Okay, go on.
Okay, now, what I want to contribute first is that Vietnam should go and look for... They should go and look for where to sell their rice, not Nigeria.
We're not buying.
We don't need rice from Vietnam. Vietnam should come and buy rice from us. We have rice all over Nigeria.
Yes, we do.
The government should not shift its base. We don't need Vietnam rice in Nigeria. Whether it is whatever they call it, we don't need it. Let them take their rice to other parts of the world where they can sell their rice. Why must it be Nigeria?
All right. Thank you very much.
We don't need it.
Thank you very much, Alaji. Yes.
No, so importation has not allowed our country to grow. That's what is done over the years. Nigerians have become relaxed. Every simple businessman who has...
Why do we sign an agreement that we cannot...
No, there's not... Me, personally, I do not see anything contravening that agreement. This is a temporary measure, and it is to curb smuggling. The CBN governor was saying yesterday that our neighboring countries have to do a lot to also curb smuggling. Hold on a minute, Tokwe. If our neighboring countries discard their parasitic nature, you cannot keep your borders at cheap rates to import, and then everything that you import the market is here. Whatever you import should also be consumed within Benin, for instance. They should consume whatever they bring through their borders, through their ports in Benin, for instance. They know they don't have the market. So we are dealing with our own local issues. We are dealing with substandard products. We are dealing with expired rice. We are dealing with expired foods that is headed towards this place from their country. We can deal with it by shutting whatever border that we want to deal.
We're not dealing with the issue.
We are
doing, you are having a cut off the head model. We're not dealing with the real issue. The issue is that we are not efficient in managing our things. We don't have rules. We don't have. We're not maintaining standard. So we're not saying that instead of dealing with maintaining standards, let us block the border. Let's lock everything down.
Vietnam. Remember, China did almost the same thing. At some point, they had to just block
more than 11 years.
And then focused and forced themselves
Singapore
to reduce entirely. So whether we like it or not, maybe this was the necessary measure.
I am a fan of border closure. But I think that border closure in itself is not effective until we are able to deal with the corruption in custom.
Okay.
Because that is an issue that would... You can't close the border in perpetuity. You will need to reopen it and deal with the corrupt people in custom that allow these things to go in, the corrupt villagers that allow these things to go in.
Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Sayani. I'm calling from Surulere.
Go ahead, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Murayo, I thank God for this government because I'm 45 years old now. And for the first time in my life, this is the first time I will be eating Nigerian rice, Nigerian chicken, with Nigerian stew.
Do you like it?
Nigerian stew.
Do you like it?
Yes, yes. This is a welcome. We should just let it remain. Let's consume what we are producing.
Okay.
Nigeria must grow. We can't remain a dumping site.
That's all.
Our farmers are smiling to the bank now. I asked the woman that was selling the chicken, show me, made in Nigeria, proudly Nigerian. It was written on the pack of the chicken.
All right, thank you
very much. What we want in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayeni.
May I quickly say that I like the fact that the border was closed, but it's not really addressing the issues because we still, as at today, smuggling is still ongoing. They still have foreign rice in the markets if you go there. The thing that, one of the measures that would have curbed and solved our problem is if we make policies, good policies that will enable our local production, then reduce the tariff for importation and increase the tariff for consumption of foreign goods so that when you get into the marketplace, I mentioned UAE did it. When you get into the marketplace, the foreign goods are way more expensive, over 300% expensive. And so the common man will not opt for that. But because we come into the market space, we see that the local rice is even more expensive than the foreign rice. A poor man who is earning 30,000 naira, how much rice do you want him to buy?
I get that.
At this point now, the reality is that...
Let me finish, please. Secondly, the border closure is not just because of food. We have security issues. Guns are being smuggled into the border. So it's a 50-50 for me.
I wanted to address. Go ahead.
May I quickly say to Obiajulu that I must agree with the tariff arrangement that you've just mentioned, but this is to reduce the issues that we're dealing with already. And like I said earlier, if Benin Republic has an agreed board that certifies this rice good for Benin people and the bad one shipped to Nigeria, then that country does not deserve our free trade zone. That country cannot treat us like a dump site.
Why don't you refuse to
hold on
be
a
a
minute,
dump
we
site?
have. But you know the issues that we'll deal with. When we reduce, we can then cope. We've reduced, and with this money, we have about 50-something trucks of expired goods impounded.
Yeah.
If everybody was poor, everywhere was just free, we might have missed that one.
Missed that one, yeah.
So we are starting somewhere, and we are reducing it
as much as I appreciate that, we need to start appreciating our own goods, but it's not easy. After tasting Cadbury, Godiva chocolate,
why are you like this?
Nasa,
no, those ones are producing.
They're producing.
They're not producing here. No, Cadbury.
Cadbury.
I'm talking about the chocolate. Honey. The chocolate I'm talking about is not Nigerian. The Godiva chocolate is Swiss. You get what I'm saying? Please.
Come on, we'll be all right.
Let's go on a break.
Our
taste buds have gone beyond this thing I'm talking about. Stay with us, we'll be right back, please.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
This conversation. Do we have some tweets?
Yes. Festus Akimboyewa says our neighboring countries, especially Benin Republic, have been harming our economy for decades. Happy that we have closed our borders and their economies are hurting. Hope they will stop flooding our country with smuggled rice and
These are our
fake
brothers.
drugs. That's his own view.
We're not trying
Mohammed
to...
Salisu says, now we know how important Nigeria is to our neighbors. They make money on us and leave us poor and enemy of ourselves due to poverty. Let the key to the border, should be thrown into the Red Sea.
Wait, pause for a second.
Oh God.
Please, we must remind ourselves that these are brotherly.
Exactly.
We're supposed to be brotherly neighbors.
Yes, we are.
We must look out for each other. Yes,
they failed us over the years.
They failed us, but
they
yes,
have.
Ourselves.
It's a statement of fact. They have.
Advantage. Calm down. They took advantage of our inefficiency.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes into your house that you left open and comes and takes something from your fridge,
gets the message.
The person didn't do anything that you've not allowed. So they've allowed it so far. The truth is we cannot isolate ourselves. As a country, we must deal with other people. We need to now ensure that we are the one protecting ourselves in this relationship, not to betray them and make them label them wrongly.
Says there's nowhere in the world where countries open their borders for free entry of substandard goods. What Nigeria has done is to send the right signal to our neighbors that we can no longer tolerate threats to our economy using their territories as base. And Elder Shorty says, please be reminded that it's not only land borders that are closed temporarily. Seaport is open for legitimate business. So importation and exportation can still be done through our own seaport. Right. And it's only smugglers and illegal business people that are lamenting.
Let me come to our audience because we must tell ourselves the truth. Now, there's a high probability that the rice you get every December might not happen because the truth is that the demand has increased. Yes. The local producers are still trying very much to meet up with the demand. Yeah. The fact that people just buy rice and be giving us oil, all those things might change by December. Yeah. Are you willing to accept that you not receive rice for Christmas?
They should give you money.
We eat yam and egg. These are the realities.
We eat beans.
Let me finish. When that time comes, these are the same Nigerians that will start groaning. There is no rice. There is no rice. They must understand that if we're going to develop this industry, you must go through this painstakingly for a period until we are buoyant enough to export. But we must be ready. Me, I like my Godiva chocolates, but now that they said that we should look within.
These are your big names.
No, it's true now.
I also want us to...
I don't want agbalumo. I want...
we should find a way... We should find a way to, be sure that our leaders are not going to be ordering basmati rice, that they will eat our local rice as well. They should show us that they are eating our local rice.
Let me come to the audience. Are you ready for that sacrifice? Let me get one or two comments. Are you ready for that sacrifice? Go ahead. Let me take a few comments before I take a few more tweets. Yes.
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
I'm Lekon. For me, I think it's just for a short time. So, for now, I don't even eat rice anymore.
Thank you.
You don't eat rice again?
Again.
What do you eat?
So now I take beans.
We have beans.
Maybe sometimes Indomie in place of rice.
Noodles.
So for me, it's just for a short time. So
okay, all right. Who else is willing to take a sacrifice? Who else is willing to sacrifice? Yes.
For me, I'm subscribing to what Lekon just said. If I have my way,
Ati foreign rice, ati Nigerian rice. Let's do strike. Let nobody eat rice. So that our
You're going to
senses
hurt
can...
the industry.
So, no, so we can come, because the same local rice is still on the high side.
Yes, it is.
I don't see what sense it's making. And like she just said, if only they too, they will be eating foreign rice and telling us to eat local rice.
See, she made a valid point. The local rice that you're telling us to consume, they're also expensive, Nima.
Yeah,
Many of them actually increased.
For now.
Their prices, yes.
When I started eating local rice, there was a local rice, foreign rice available for less the price, and I paid 15,000 per bag willingly, because I'd rather eat something I'm sure is good and good for my standard, for my health. Now you have the duty to protect yourself. Let the rich men import whatever quality or quantity of rice they like. Let them pay expensively for whatever will poison them. But guarantee what will work for your body. I know what I'm saying. Since 2015, I've made every kind of delicacy of rice with my local rice from my village, and it's worked for me.
Okay.
I don't know why Nigerians are demanding taste bud and all the Igbos that we put to it. Right now, we have serious health issues that you can easily relate to.
Okay, we have to
Their legit options. We have
we have potatoes in abundance.
When we have more production, the market forces will balance itself.
Okay,
the competition and the rice.
Let me just take one last comment from our audience. Yes, sir.
Hello, this is Timothy, my name. I could remember around 1984 when they were banned, when they used to import flour, wheat flour.
For bread, yeah.
No bread in Nigeria then. Because making bread, the flour is so expensive. So when you go to any big hotel, they serve you plantain or frying yam. And in our house too, we used to eat frying yam with tea. So no bread.
Amazing.
Thank you for that information.
The objective, let's take a visit, but the objective is to ensure that Nigerians are just ready for that downtime. And then hopefully very soon.
Andrew in Streatham says, have you noticed how healthy looking all of you are? Why? It's because of border closure. No rice, no fat, no diabetes. Eat yams, Joe. Our ancestors never ate rice. Tell them.
The Andrew that is talking in the UK.
Let me take this local one. Prince Tiamiu Lawal says, anyone opposed to border closure doesn't mean well for our economic growth as a nation. There's no way we'll create employment and develop our country by entirely depending on smaller countries like Ghana and Benin Republic for survival.
Let's move on to another topic, because I wanted us to cover this before we go on a break. If you could recall our conversation on Davido's audio pregnancy last Friday, so those two ladies that were involved have been caught. For those of you that did not know, two ladies were actually talking about Davido, saying that he impregnated one of them. Okay. Anyway, they've been caught and they were paraded. Now, you would think it's the police that paraded them. No. What happened was that his manager, allegedly, there was a bounty actually for whoever knows anything about them, they have to find them. So finally, they found them, and they were brought in handcuffs. We don't know where it was, somebody's house. We don't know whose house it was. But then the issue was that they were paraded by Davido's manager. Now, we're asking, is that the right process? Should the police have been involved? What's the proper procedure in this kind of thing? Is this affecting their human rights?
Yes, of course. So, yes, when it broke, we jumped on it. I particularly said Davido should do the legal thing with them. So there's criminal defamation. There's also civil defamation that he could have, pursued. And if it was civil, it's just to find them so you know the address with which to serve the processes and sue them. But these ladies were in handcuffs. On the video we saw on Instablog, they were in handcuffs and they were sitting, and somebody made a video of them saying that they've committed the crime of defamation. This is certainly not the police. This wasn't the police station. This wasn't the commissioner of police office. And even if you're a big man, the big man-ness means that you have connections to get the commissioner of police to intervene in this kind of thing. How do you get handcuffs in your house and a manager, someone else making a video, and another person with another bad English? Because these ladies made bad English, but this person was calling deformation, and was making a video of these ladies in handcuffs. Nigerians, can we just do things legally?
So my question to you, what's the difference between this one and jungle justice?
We have a problem where people that have influence and have power and have money tend to feel above the law. They can do and undo. You hear things like, I will deal with you, I will lock you up in prison, nobody will do anything about it, I will call the police, they will arrest you, they will pick up your family, everybody. So those threats are actually not just threats. We've seen them play out in real time. So we have a case of someone feeling like you've done me wrong, and I am totally for seeking justice, but seek justice legally. We must stop this case of having a rich person or a powerful person saying that you are owing me money, I'll call the police to arrest you just because I have the power to do it. So what Davido did here is right. You can formally lodge a complaint against these people for defamation to the police. But it is wrong for you to arrest them by yourself. You are not a law enforcement agent.
Bring them to your house.
You bring them to your house. You do a video of them making verbal confession. How did they get that? That is wrong.
Dehumanizing them.
My question to you, Nima, is that can those girls sue him?
They cannot sue him.
They will sue him for
fundamental rights to dignity and liberty has been abused.
Yes.
They can sue him and have that right enforced by the court. And for whatever amount, I think his 30 billion suggestion would also be good for them.
Yeah.
Yes. Because now, people must learn to do things properly.
Right way.
Yes.
The proper thing was for Davido to petition the police and say, my character has been defamed and this is what I want it enforced. And the police will find these girls, arrest them and arraign them in court. Basic.
You can even help them.
Davido can also find, like he did, put a bounty to them and say, I just want to know their address. If his lawyers don't know how to get their address, find their address, file a process so that they know where to be served. Basic. When they get to court, everybody say your case, I say my case. The judge determines whose right has been abused and how to redress that right. Not that I will go and pick them, I'm a big, boys, like we had the video the other time of a lady who went to someone's house to take a picture. And she was so dehumanized in the man's house without law enforcement. Now they're taking laws into their hands.
We didn't see her get justice afterwards.
She did not get justice.
So that's the thing. So because we think it's normal for you to actually harass and parade citizens, yes, they've wronged you. But there's a proper way of doing it. So we did not, in that story, we didn't do the right thing. And maybe that's why they felt it's normal.
For me, when I saw that video, like I saw young girls in handcuffs, chained to a chair. And I felt exactly, and I'm wondering, they are not thieves. They were not caught, So I think I'm going to stand with what everybody's saying here. We need to learn how to do things right. And I also, by now, the video has been on for how many hours now? No, this particular one, since yesterday. I expected the police to have reacted. They should have sworn in, exactly. So what are we waiting for? They should have sworn into action, go there, get those people out of that place, and take up the case.
Or now
find out why sitting down. Are they waiting?
Are
they waiting for Davido to now take them to the police station? Because if you ask them, the thing you hear is that nobody made a formal report to us.
Exactly.
They should have an online presence.
Yes. Exactly. Let me take this call from Alex. Alex, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning,
Morning. Go ahead, please.
I just want to appreciate the good job you are doing in TVC. I want to also appreciate my sister, Obima Jolo. So I want to contribute on the last topic on the issue of closing of the border and the rest of them.
It's your view.
The closing of the border is okay, but the customs need to be to adhered. They need to be overhauled because they are all corrupt, and therefore what they need is to clamp down rice and the other fuel. What they call it? Smuggling fuel out of the country. That's number two things. But closing of the border cannot help much. Let the customs be overhauled. Because they're all corrupt.
Thank you very much for your thought. Because I know that the Controller General actually, he's hands-on. This man is there. So he's doing everything to ensure we clean out the customs. So yes, there may be there are bad eggs here and there, but I think he's doing quite a bit of work.
And we shouldn't say all. We shouldn't generalize like that.
Just always
I'm excited about discussing this. Beyond what Davido did specifically, there are many other people that do this. There are many people that feel like because I've offended a rich person, I'm done for, and I can't even find redress with the police. The police should stop standing behind powerful, influential people and stand behind every citizen that has done something right. Criminalize those that have done wrong, punish them, but protect the citizens that have done right. Don't protect rich people alone. You're not meant to protect VIPs. You are paid to protect citizens of Nigeria, full stop.
So this same police have stood behind Davido in the past, which is why I would expect, I didn't expect them to do anything in 24 hours. These girls were arraigned on Davido's video that really was released to
Instagram
Tabloid.
We don't know who was
Davido was arrested some time back for alleged murder of a friend at a club.
Yes.
That Caroline Dajuma stood behind. We've waited forever to see how this matter was dropped, followed up, or whatever. We didn't hear anything from the police, but today he has handcuffs to put on 2 girls who's done a video about him.
We don't know for a fact that he actually... We know that the manager is Davido's manager.
Right.
We don't know if he sent him... No, let's be clear.
No.
We don't know if Davido sent him.
Okay.
We don't... That can be...
So the
that can be
purpose of
deleted.
talking about it is so that we'll have clarity on who is who behind this and who is going to pay for this on behalf of the girls.
So now, my producers are telling me now that the police have reacted. If they can send us what their reaction is, we'd like to share it with our viewers. But for now,
Andrew in Streatham says, even Davido's manager has broken the law. He has violated federal law. What kind of nation is this? This young generation of Nigerians, who are they? This is not the Nigeria I knew. You are in the UK now, sir. Honorable Ademola says, everybody wants to show that they are powerful without following due process. The problem is poverty, and many people don't even know their rights. Hence, they are constantly oppressed. Anyone caught doing stuffs without following the law should be dealt with.
Let me take...
Gochuku says, new update, the girls have been released. I feel it was just a stunt to promote his new single and keep him trending. Check his Twitter handle. He announced it himself, so we'll check that.
Okay, let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, Morale. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. You're live. Go ahead.
Okay. We all cannot sleep on the same side of the bed. There are the... Am I on?
You're live. Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Okay. The discussion is actually based on 2 things. On which side you are on the economic school of thought. Are you for protectionism as a way of running the economy and building wealth? Or are you on the side of the free markets? Nigerians seem to think that protectionism is a way out of our economic quagmire. I beg to say that that is what we have been practicing in my 61 years in Nigeria, and yet we have not seen progress. Each time the government intervenes, take the area of cement, for example, which was being sold for 600 naira until we began to say, okay, we must buy Nigeria. Today, cement is almost 3,000 naira. You know, each time the government intervenes, prices go up. And I want to tell you that as an ex-military personnel, one of the strategies you use to bring down your enemy is to close down the borders. You are all, apart from one of you, are aware of the story in the Bible where the Assyrians laid a siege on the city of Jerusalem. And as much love as women had for their children, they ate their own children. So whenever there is a siege, whenever there is border closure, prices go up. It's not an economic argument to say that I must buy something at a higher price because my brother in Nigeria is selling it, you know, instead of buying it cheaper from a different land. When the Chinese locked up their own country, their own Mao Zedong stayed in the country. His children stayed in the country. They were not traveling all over the place. Everyone there suffered the pain. Where is our president today? How many times has he traveled out of Nigeria? What about his wife?
So it's a holistic approach. Yes. So thank you very much, sir. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll focus on the response from the police on the video story. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So we're going to focus on the police's response to the Davido story. Yes, Nima, tell us.
So the spokesperson for Lagos, Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer Bala Elkanah has faulted Edward Ija, that's the hype man, the sidekick of popular musician Davido, for parading 2 women who accused Davido of impregnating them on social media. He went further to say that it was lawful, which I'm aware of, for a citizen to arrest a person and hand them over to the police, but not on handcuffs, sir, and not to parade them as well. So a person breaks into your house, you can actually lock the room you find them till the police come. You can hold them down, till the police come. You can have them in public, steal a phone, hold them down till the police come. But when you have access to the handcuffs and parade them possibly, that's totally out of line. So I don't like that they should be more...
So the police said faulted what has happened. Did they pick him up?
No.
Has he been arrested? So it's enough to just say, okay, you have done wrong, my son. Okay, go, your sins are forgiven. Or you take him into, what's it called? Is it custody? And question him. We should see that you are working to protect the lives of your citizens, not lip service. I expected more from this.
Okay, so in the same response, however, the police mentioned the fact that when this happened with the case of Blessing Okoro, which we mentioned when we were having the conversation earlier, Blessing Okoro was the blogger who lied about a building, and Onyeze came and arrested and disgraced him. That the police disgraced her. The police said that they arrested Onyeze. So this is it's grounds for us to know that the police probably would carry out an arrest, and somebody will get compensated at the end of the day. The more, when we see more compensations, it might seem like, oh, it's money, they just want money. No. If there are penalties carried out for your wrong actions, it will serve as deterrence in future for other people not to do the same thing. So now people are hearing this now. They wouldn't do the same thing, which is to abuse people's human rights. We abuse housemaids because we think they cannot report to anybody. We abuse our drivers. Some people slap their drivers. Things like this shouldn't take place.
If you catch your driver that he stole money, or your house girl did something, you can't
now beat them up
or parade them, take a picture of how it's totally wrong. Because we see people do it.
Yes, they will take a video of housemates that stole money, or they will take video of drivers that did something wrong and post it online. It's not your right.
You can in your house.
Let's land on the right thing. The right thing to do when you find your maid stole money or someone that has done something wrong is to take them to the police station.
Yes,
but the police can parade them and you repost it. But not that you will parade somebody. It's not your job.
Can you clarify? On sexual harassment and said to the girls, it's a smart world now, you have a smartphone, help yourself. So catch a confession on video on your phone, basic, but don't post it. Keep it for the police to come. You can make that video, and if you think that the police will compromise, release it out there so that just be smart about it. But don't do it to the point where you cross the line. And the spokesman was saying, even if someone defamed your character, you are to hand over that person to the police immediately. But to parade that person is wrong. And the person being paraded has a right to sue. Private citizens have no right to parade another person. So parade is exclusively the job of the police.
That was the point when I was to ensure that.
And I consciously brought it to the home, to the housemates, to the drivers, anybody that has committed anything against you. You have no right to publicize their face until they've gotten convicted by the police for what they've done wrong. It's not your job.
On that note, we'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing property fraud. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So people are increasingly falling victim to property fraud because the tactics the scammers use are getting much more advanced. Join us on the show to enlighten us on how to get genuine properties in order to avoid being duped. He's a real estate expert, Mr. Oberaifo Udo. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
You can call us on 07080668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweets. Okay, a lot of people have almost been scammed. I know quite a few people have been scammed. How does a Lagosian especially buy property and ensuring that it's legitimate?
Okay. Thank you very much once again, Morayo and crew. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. And thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. I believe the journey to make Nigeria a better place is a collective one.
Yes, it is.
And that, of course, is what you are doing. I really appreciate you and keep it up. Getting a property in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, the real estate industry is very volatile.
Okay.
And there is so much fraud going on right now. So it is expected as one who wants to acquire a property, you meet a property expert or real estate company that has a good track record or profile. You seek advisory from them or seek consultation. You get to know why and which documents that accompany such property that you want to acquire. That is one of the services that we are offering as a real estate company.
But, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so, sometimes you want to get a property and you don't want to spend so much.
Yes.
In the sense that most of these property agents, they have their, you pay this fee, you pay that fee, consultation and all of that. So you don't have so much money, but you want to acquire property. And then you go meet somebody, all those people who claim they are selling for families, and then you get that property. And along the line, you start hearing that the governor's consent is not on this land, there's nothing on this land, there's nothing on this land. So how do you guarantee that even if you don't want to, is there a way you can buy that land, not spend so much, but then don't fall into the wrong hands?
Okay. Land purchase or acquisition in Nigeria, or let me use Lagos for example, is different from every other part of Nigeria. Okay. Talking about the amount or the pricing to get lands, lands in Lagos are way more expensive, Lagos and Abuja, compared to other parts of Nigeria. Okay. If you want to acquire a land, say communal land, because most of the lands that are used to defraud people are mostly lands that are bought without a title, and these lands are mainly from these Omonilezi communities and all that, the local people. Now, what is expected of you? Because when you are sick, I believe you go to a doctor. Yeah. So also when you want to acquire a land, you go to a
but the problem is that many of these real estate agents are fake. Many of them are not registered. That's a problem we're having. How do I know a legitimate real estate company?
I know that Lagos State, you can go into land in Lagos State with the survey code coordinates of the property. There's a form. You collect the form.
It's called a search.
You do your search and find out whether the property is owned by government, if it's a Greek property, or if it is owned by a family. That way you can verify. I think that at the end of the day, people refuse to do due diligence before buying property. We have a culture that depends on people find comfort in knowing they have a land. And so they just struggle and do whatever it is to have the land. I think that we need to raise awareness of people to understand, if you've worked hard to get your money, work extra hard not to lose your money.
Of course.
So do the due diligence.
Very important.
So I wanted to say exactly what Tokpe said, because I deal in properties as well. We do not buy without search.
Yes.
And when you find that there's what we call an encumbrance on a property, or there's an history that is not clear to you on a particular land, run. Most of these estates, so-called registered companies, are even more fraud than, you know, the
moneyless.
or moneyless.
Yes.
Because what you have is that you are made to pay over time and you never get an allocation for the properties that you paid for. You do not see exactly what you're buying. So how do you deal with that exactly, since that's your line of business?
Okay. We as a real estate company, that's the reason why we are here. First of all, land ownership in Nigeria holds that for communal land ownership, that for every community or any individual that proposes to own a land, they should have an history of about 300 years. That is called title delineation. That dates back to about 300 years. That shows that they own that land. So you can get such records from the lands registry. When you get there, you get a history of that land. In this case, maybe these lands, they don't have a C of O or a governor's consent. Because most of them that are used to defraud people are these lands that don't have this document. But then then these lands should have a deed of assignment. With the deed of assignment, you have the information of the people who proposed or the owners of such land. Then you do your title, your search.
People always complain about the cost of this search.
It's not expensive.
It comes across as
the search is as little as less than 7,000 or 7,000. The search is not example.
The process I think I'm talking about then.
It's the process, because you would have to go there. You would need to get a survey done by a surveyor registered with Lagos, because they need to have that, your coordinates properly. But I wanted to ask concerning fraud. She asked, you didn't answer.
Okay.
Fraudulent agencies, and there are many of them. They would just build one wall and put gates there. Then they will do video and now market it and say,
let me build on
this
that
estate
because it is not
sale.
unusual to find a communal land that they've not done any paperwork on.
Yes.
What is unusual is that when you find that communal land, you then buy and don't do your paperwork. Once you hit a clog in doing your paperwork, getting your CFO, you know that property, you know, it's even when you do your search there, they will let you know whether government has taken over that area or this area is for the community to sell. There are areas like that you know the government run and have estates on. So those are clear things to do. But why we have a problem is where registered estate owners sell properties without you seeing, you pay over time. They tell you 3 installments, 4 installments. There will be time for allocation. They take you to a totally different place. My friend bought a land in Isheri North, and I was made to go and search for another land inside Ogun State as to settle her because she's not here. She paid from abroad. So how do you deal with fraud like that? And as a property company, what do you do? What will you offer your clients that are coming to buy in order for them not to fall victim of such things?
Okay. Most of the time, what I always tell people is that the issue of fraud, let me say crime in general, is a thing of, is an individual thing. How do I mean? Nigeria today, the average society mindset is how to get fast money, isn't it? Is how to make money any way possible at the expense of the next person. Do you understand?
Which is very bad.
Good. That is the reason why we as a real estate company have come in to say, no, we want to do it right.
Okay, so you're speaking for yourself.
Yes, yes.
The industry. We're not so concerned about your company.
Yes.
We're talking about the industry because it's your industry.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that, because I know I spoke to the special advisor on housing, Mrs. Toke Benson Awoyinka, and she said, I mean, she was frustrated about the proliferation of real estate practitioners that were fraudulent. So what she's suggesting is every real estate realtor must register. They need to know who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Yes.
And there's going to be an annual review of that list, so that everybody who wants to buy property can know, because this is the person I should deal with, because there's an issue with the fact that many people in your own industry are duping people.
Taking advantage of people.
So,
do you agree with that initiative? Let me ask you, do you think it's right for realtors to be registered?
Of course. My company is registered under LACETRAD, and so NTD as well.
Okay.
It is expected that's why I said you should check the profile of that company.
So this profile you're saying we should check, what are the things that it entails? One, you mentioned the Lacetra.
Yes.
So that's one
NTDA.
thing. So before you buy any property from an agency, confirm the agency is registered with Lacetra.
And NTD as well.
And NTD.
Yes.
What other things should individuals look out for?
How do we know?
Okay.
Do we go to Lagos State government to get that
Of course, you have to. If you are spending such money to buy a property, it's expected you go take further steps to do due diligence. Due diligence, even on the property you're buying.
Right.
You go there, you take coordinates of that land outside what the company gives to you.
Right.
The
Let me take this
documents
call very quickly. I'm sorry, he's been holding for a while. Yakub, sorry for keeping you. Go ahead, Yakub.
Yeah, good morning, Mariah.
Morning.
Because of the time, good morning to beautiful Andres in the studio. Mariah, I don't know if I can quickly talk about one of the...
It's your view. Let it count, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. Mariah, let me begin by saying that I want to use this opportunity to appeal to two of the audience, the other guys and one of the ladies in the audience, that says they don't want to eat Nigerian rice anymore, and then the other one says that we should fight being eating Nigerian rice. I want to tell them they should take the example of Sister Nima that has been eating the rice since 2015, and then from eating that local rice is boosting our economy. One of the callers said earlier that Mr. President is going up and down because of closing of our border. Moralo, do you say this? Mr. President went to the South Africa on official duty. He went to the Russia on official duty. He's also go to
his child went abroad for health.
On official duty as well. So, basically, I'm very sure. So I agree with that in that table. Moralo, Nima, and Mama Deja and the other lady. If we put the question down there, who supported the closure of the border? I'm very sure if it is not 4x4, it will be 3/1. So I'm very sure Nigerian citizens should be able to applaud Mr. President for closing the border. And on the long run, we are going to do a benefit of this. Anybody that knows you don't eat in Nigeria right now, it is on his own. You have to learn how to eat in Nigeria right like Sister Nima. Thank and God.
Thank you very much, Yakub. Okay, so how do we...
Okay.
I want him to finish, but go ahead.
How do we verify that the documents given, because I had a friend who fell into the hands of getting through these agents, got a document for the lands, and realized at the point of building that the documents were fake. It wasn't given by Lagos State.
Okay. First of all, like I said, due diligence, very important. How do you do your due diligence? If you are buying a property, you should take the extra pain for the fact that you are taking out millions of naira to pay for that property. I believe it will not be too much for you to lose 50,000, 20, 30,000 than losing 1 or 2 million or 10 million or 100 million as the case may be. Okay. So you take that extra step, go to the land, if it's a land in this case, go to the land, you take coordinates of the said land. Take the documents that the company gave to you, the accompanying documents, then take it to land registry and land survey. Go chart the land. When you chart it, you see the coordinates that
this is online. Some people just don't like taking that.
You have
that is the problem. It's a Nigerian thing.
And it works, yes.
It's a Nigerian thing.
So, there are many people that have been defrauded like this. The issue is that they will pay for a land they've never seen.
They've never seen, yeah.
They will not go to the location. They don't even know where it is. And they would only just buy the land from seeing pictures online and then pay the money.
I'll have to pay and engage you as a lawyer. Not to buy land.
I charge as high as $1 million to do this for my clients, just to ensure that they don't spend more millions and lose that money. By the time you are done, you are certain that you are getting a property that you can sue me if your property turns out to be fraud later.
On that note, thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us on this topic. We're going to bring you back at some point, and hopefully other experts from Lagos State and other government agencies on how best to purchase property across the country without being duped. Hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did.
Yes, we did.
Somebody wanted to make a comment, but unfortunately I ran out of time. I'm so sorry, sir. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.